Sup? Welcome back to Nets Republic. This is Kid Sever the Bomb. What's good with you? I am so happy because I feel like the last three videos I've just been enraged, and it's like, what's the fun in being mad? Sometimes you just want to get on here and be happy, no, for real. And tonight is an example where I can get back on that type of time, that type of energy, that type of vibration, if you will. The Nets went out there and absolutely curb stomped the Bulls on national television. And I'm going to be real, I wasn't expecting this. Going into the game, I assumed we were going to be absolutely destroyed. But then I saw that all three of them were playing. And when all three of them were playing, there is just no answer. Now, I've explained the concept and theory of a dub is a dub to you until we've all been blue in the proverbial face, like good old Papa Smurf. But I have not explained this particular theory to you. I've got a lot of different theories. This one is simply going by, and there's no catchy title, it's just a simple phrase of you can't stop all three of them. And it's the simple fact that you cannot stop all three of them. You might be able to stop Kevin Durant, you might be able to stop James Harden, you might be able to stop Kyrie, you might on some nights be able to stop Kevin Durant and James Harden. There's definitely nights where you can stop maybe Kyrie and KD. I don't know about the success rate of stopping James Harden and Kyrie, but it's possible. There is a 0% chance that the team is losing when all three of them are out there. That magical combination of Kyrie, James Harden, and KD, all the other stuff we've been talking about and concerned about and complaining about, all for valid reasons, goes out the window. It doesn't matter that Steve Nash is the coach. It doesn't matter that Kevin Durant seems to only be interested in getting his 27 and then dipping. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that at times James Harden can't hit open shots and misses layups. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the fact that Kyrie goes to Karis LeVert offensive land and at times, it's something to watch and he forgets how to pass, but that kind of stuff doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that we didn't have any healthy centers with Claxton being, I think he's hurt or something like that. Yeah, with Claxton not playing, with LaMarcus Aldridge not playing, and the fact that all of our backups are a collection of angry power forwards. It doesn't matter because when you have all three of them dudes out there, everything just falls to the wayside. It's like the John Collins thing. Like, he was quoted as saying, because there's all these, rumors and speculations of he's trying to get out of Atlanta and such. And God, do I want John Collins on the Nets. Well, that's neither here nor there. You didn't hear that from me. He said, when asked about the speculation that he wants out again, this man said that when you're losing, all this stuff comes to light. But when you're winning, it's the best of times. And honestly, the situation of us winning is the simple factoring and the simple key and combination of those three dudes out there playing, because they just don't lose. We've described how it's not fair. We've described how it's pure insanity. They just don't lose. I believe our record so far with all of them playing is like 2-1. I don't remember the game we lost with all three of them out there. I'm going to be honest with you, but that's neither here nor there. But they don't lose. If we talk about the playoffs of last year, I think they lost once when all three of them played together. That's like game 3, and it took Tatum dropping 50. This combination doesn't lose. And the scariest part, no pun intended, is Kyrie had a pretty bad night offensively, which, bad to his standards. Kyrie, did he break 10 points? I don't know. It wasn't the sharpest of shooting nights, and he's been quoted as saying he's a little bit winded, if you will, and he's trying to get his cardio back, so he's not attacking the rim like he normally does. But even with him having a subpar game, and subpar to his standards, 1 point we were up by 38. In the third quarter, we did what I've been asking for almost 2 years now. They went Golden State on them bums in the third quarter. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, it was a 42-5 run. Yes, I said 42-5 run in the third quarter. To try and describe what they were doing, I'm going to try my best. We're talking about there were plays where defensively they were so locked in. I'm talking DeAndre Bembry is literally penguin sliding out in between two defenders. He split defenders on the floor defensively to get the rebound. Shuffleboard passes that joint down court. Blake Griffin on his Blankety Blake. DJ, I told you. I told you. On his Blankety Blake. Grabs the ball. Flings it even further on his penguin slide. And call Morgan Freeman, the March of the Penguins finale was a Kessler Edwards dunk. They did this 3 consecutive plays in a row. Sometimes it's Patty doing the roll. Sometimes it's Kessler getting out there or something like that. I mean, the hustle was insane. I saw Bembry and Blake in that sequence dive on the floor at least 2 consecutive times. Because it was 3 back-to-back turnovers back and forth. And Patty was getting in on it too. And it wasn't just the steals and the hustle plays. Patty Mills taking the charges. Blake Griffin taking the charge. I mean, stop after stop after stop after stop. Just preventing them dudes from scoring. And it's not like it was us blowing out the bench unit. I'm talking about DeMar DeRozan, Mr. Automatic from mid-range. I have a friend who's been calling him Jordan from the mid-range. Was getting shut down by Blake Griffin defense. This man didn't have a chance. KD locking folks down. Harden locking folks down. Kyrie standing in the corner away from the ball on defense, but then scoring on the other side. Locking them down offensively. The defense was suffocating, and I'm not exaggerating. Hopefully you saw the game. I'm talking there was at least 3 consecutive trips where we either just stole the ball from throwing ourselves on the floor or just getting charge after charge after charge. Hard hat, steel-toed boots, blue-collar boy for the win type stuff. That really hurt, but I'm not going to cry on camera. Believe me, when I turn it off, I'm sobbing in the corner, but I'm not crying right now. I refuse. I refuse. And the most disrespectful part is they shut that man DeRozan down in front of his family. You remember in the second quarter, they had panned over to the DeRozans, if you will. You did that in front of that man's family. That's the type of energy the Nets were on this game. And it's about time. Unfortunately, this is wherein lies the problem. Because even though the Nets played incredible and dismantled the Bulls, can I quote Cardi B? What was the reason? Let's go over this example one more time. When you have Harden bringing the ball up the court, they're going to trap Harden. Harden passes the ball over to Kyrie. 2 more people come over to trap him. That final kick out is to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant can either just pull up type stuff, you feel me? Take the open shot, pass it over to, homie to his side, cutting over to the basket. We'll say that's Daron Sharp. Or something I didn't even factor in, and I really haven't been in the last couple videos, but I'll bring in another option. That's only 4. You can maybe swing the ball further. Give it to Kessler Edwards. He'll spray the 3. But you see, you've run out of defenders at this point. Because that last person who's watching KD make that final decision to two other players who are more than capable of scoring in those two ways that we just described. You've run out of defenders. It's just that one guy left. It's unguardable. And the only time that works is when you have all three of them out there. When it's just two of them, stuff starts getting a little weird. But when it's all three of them, it's just impossible. They were scared to not double Kyrie, and Kyrie was like 1 for 5 from 3. Even Golden State didn't have this type of dominance, which I guess technically they did, but maybe no one believes me, but I'm more frightened, personally, of a third option of Kyrie Irving than a third option of Klay Thompson. Like, if we're talking KD is KD, right? Then Steph is Harden, I guess, right? That makes Klay Thompson Kyrie. I'm taking Kyrie over Klay. Like, that's even more dangerous. And Kyrie's got the handles and the finishing and the mid-range and the three. Like, that is terrifying. But you need all three of them. If it's just two, it's like, this can work, but it's not as deadly. And the team is constructed for that. So while I will say that there are many flaws, even when all three of them are out there, the chances of it mattering are so small because that's literally what the team was constructed for. When you subtract one of them, it's like agaga. And again, Kyrie's only played 2 games, and they were just slapping folks around before he got back. But if we're talking about tonight's performance, because with just those two, we ain't slapping no one around like that. This was a demolition derby. Like, the Bulls were they might not even be the Bulls anymore. They're the burgers. We turned them into patties. They're the Chicago burgers after what we just did. The flame broiled. That only happens when you have all three of them. And it makes everything so much easier. That's what's given Joe Harris this crazy rep of like, oh, wait till Joey gets back. Look how open Patty Mills was. Patty ain't missing open, maybe contested ones, but Patty ain't missing the open jumpers. Kessler Edwards ain't missing the who started. Thank God Kessler Edwards started. Day'Ron Sharpe was feeding from the Harden looks. Ended up with 20 points, I might add. Over 20, I think. When all three of them are out there, it's just a different team. And it's like you can almost take everything I've said and complained about over the last couple of videos and literally throw it down the stairs. Because when all three of them are out there, they're not losing. It's just not happening. They're not losing. The three of them are so capable of handling everything on the offensive side of the ball, the rest of the team can just go out there and play D. You can't beat all of them. It's just not going to happen. Now, I feel confident ending the video here. I mean, there's obviously other things we could speak on, but I wanna really focus this video on just the final flavor of this team, because we've seen just about every variation so far that I've been covering with you here on Nets Republic. So I just want to focus on this final flavor when all three of them play. But we know what's going on with Kyrie, and we know that this will not be the case every night. But at least we can proudly say that in an alternative universe where Rudy Gobert was a little more responsible, this team is two-peating this year. That's all I'm going to say on that. See y'all later.